Hey guys, it's Lorenzo. I just wanted to show you an orchid that I have. It's a Leptotes Bicolor. It's not doing so well, and so I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube of the death of an orchid, and I'm afraid that I have one right here. So when I purchased this orchid, I guess it was like in June, and I went to a nursery here in Central Texas up near Austin, and I purchased this little guy during an orchid haul when I went up there, and it was really nice. It was in bloom. It has these beautiful small white and purple flowers. This is a tropical from Brazil, Paraguay, down in Central South America, and I don't know what's going on. I have a very warm, humid environment. It's the middle of summer here in Central Texas, so maybe it's just a little too hot because I used to have this out on my patio. So I brought it in, and it seemed to even do even worse. But I think one of the problems that I'm having with it is that I took it out of the media that it came in, and that was a bark media. But I think they kept it a lot more hydrated than what I've been giving it. These guys have little pseudobulbs attached to the leaf. I don't know if you can see it, but right here in this sheath is the pseudobulb, and this is the leaf. This is actually new growth. I'm afraid this is going to fall off. It may even fall off right now. But I tried hydrating it. I really soaked the orchid just to kind of let it absorb some water. And it just really hasn't responded well in any way. So I'm going to attempt a last-ditch effort to save this orchid. You can see I came back from work and I had just these two leaves. They fell right out of the pseudobulbs, have died, and these are the old flower spikes here. I've got two leaves still hanging on here in this new growth that developed since I brought it home a couple months ago. And yeah, I don't know what's going on here, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I put it in this cool little bird. It's actually a candle holder, but it was perfect because it had like a little cutout for a tea light, and I really like it. So I thought it was kind of cool. So I thought, well, it's a small orchid. It'll fit right in there. I'll put some new bark. So I transplanted this from the original pot into Orchid bark mix, but that mix really dries out really quick. I mean, it really doesn't retain very much moisture, if at all. So I think that was a little too fast drying for this guy. So I have actually prepared a little bit of sphagnum moss. You can see here. I've already dampened it. I'm a little sick, so bear with me. So I have a plate here that I'm going to take this apart, and let's just kind of see what's going on here. This is, again, a last-ditch effort to try to get this orchid to survive. So let's just kind of see what's going on here. As you can see, the roots don't look all that healthy. This is part of the old original media, and it seems to just kind of be falling off. All this little stuff is the Orchid bark mix. It's very fine. It's fir bark. Oh, excuse me, it's pine bark out of New Zealand. So I'm just going to put all this to the side. This is how deep this little tray is. It's actually pretty deep for being a little candle holder. But again, it's cute. It's a little cute little bird. So, well, I don't really know what's going on in here. The roots seem to be mostly dead. I don't see any new growth, and it actually may be rotting a little bit. I could never get these roots to separate from the original media, so I left it. You can see how it grew in a pot, if I can get in the camera. It's grown at an angle because it was in a square 2-inch pot. It was probably about that big. But this is what's left of it. I really had high hopes for this guy. I don't really know what to do. So I'm going to put that in sphagnum moss. and we're going to clean it up and see where this goes. So first I'm going to disinfect some little clipping shears I have with some alcohol. I already did this, but I'm going to do it again. Dry them off just a little bit. So you can see I like to use these really sharp, fine point clipping shears. I've already disinfected them with some alcohol. And I'm not quite sure what's dead here, what's not. It seems to all be kind of a mishmash, so I think I'm going to start in here. They're just very soft, very tender. Yeah, those are pretty much dead. Over here too. I hate to trim this little guy, but I don't think there's much left of anything. I'm just going to take this whole bunch off. Maybe even try to separate this media. And then put it in sphagnum moss and let's see what it does. I don't feel any substance to any of these roots here. Poor little guy. I really liked him too. I think I'm going to leave this root structure here because there may be something left. Although I don't think so. I'm going to actually remove these little bulbs. And these old spikes. That may be an aerial root, but it feels very dry, so I'm just going to remove that. Well, that's pretty much all there is left. There's really not much left to this plant. These are all dried out. And that's because I had this orchid soaking. So, yeah, these are all dead. I think it may be the end for this guy. I've never had much luck with small orchids. I just don't. Small plants, I don't know what it is, I'm just not very good at them. So here's what's left. I'm just going to kind of keep it like this. Let's see what this structure does. I don't want to take everything away. Poor little guy. I ordered a cool log for him. I ordered that as a recommendation from Holy City Orchids. So thank you very much for that recommendation. I actually ordered two. What I wanted to do was actually mount this on a cool log so it could provide a lot more moisture in sphagnum moss. And I know it's not a cold growing orchid, but at the same time I thought that the added moisture may have done it good. And I kind of looked up on their website that they mount all kinds of orchids on it, so I thought maybe it just needs more moisture than I can give it. So anyways, poor little guy. Let's kind of move to this side of the tray. Here's his little home. I think what I'm going to do is place him in some sphagnum moss like this. Maybe just kind of surround the base a little bit. Okay, that's not going very well. Let me take this one and just kind of wrap it around. Start like this. Take this other piece, kind of maybe pack the bottom. I think this may be the only spot right here that I'll be able to get some roots to grow, so let's just kind of give that a little bit of support. Keep packing that in. Now that I think I've got at least a base for it, maybe put some on this side. I'm going to actually pack this little area, make a little nest here in the bird. How appropriate. And I actually like this guy mounted facing out. Yep, and that's pretty much it. Let's just kind of see how this guy does. Maybe I'll do a little updated video and see how he does. So I'm just going to kind of pack some more sphagnum moss around it, keep him kind of hydrated, put him near a window so he gets some light, because these guys like from what I hear, Cattleya type light, as much light as they can get without direct sunlight. So yeah, let's just kind of see how this guy does. He's not faring out too well. So this is my Leptotes Bicolor, and hopefully I'll be able to make another video on him, and if not, this may be the last that you see of this little guy. I'll probably reuse the little planter for something else. Maybe I'll get another one and have better luck, but maybe I'll put it in sphagnum moss. Anyways, guys, if you like my channel, please subscribe, share with your friends, and happy growing.